Hello everyone and welcome back my dear students to the offline video series of biology of class 6. So from today onwards we are going to start with offline videos of biology subject. Before we start with the first lesson of this subject, I want to give you the basic introduction regarding this subject. Up to 5th standard you have studied science, but after promoting to the 6th standard, science is being divided into 3 main subjects, that is physics, chemistry and biology. So today from this offline video series we are going to start with biology. So in this offline video we will start with lesson number 1 and the name of the lesson is the leaf. So before starting with this lesson, we will see the main topics which we are going to cover in this lesson. So have a look at the topics which we are going to study. So here is the syllabus for first lesson. The first point is external structure, that is the parts of leaf in detail. Second point is kinds of leaf. The 2 types of leaf are simple leaf and compound leaf. The next topic is types of venation, that is reticulate and parallel venation. Fourth, functions of leaf. There are 2 main functions of leaves which we are going to study in this lesson, that are photosynthesis and transpiration. Fifth one, modifications of leaves. There are 3 main modifications which we are going to study in this lesson: tendrils, spines and scale leaves. Sixth one, insectivorous plants. Seventh, vegetative propagation in leaf. We are surrounded with a very beautiful and mesmerizing nature. God has gifted us a very beautiful nature which consists of different types of flowering plants, grass, herbs, shrubs, bushes, etc. Flowering plants like neem, mango, peepal, these are the examples of flowering plants. We see this type of flowering plants in our surrounding. So, each and every plant, whether it is flowering plant or non-flowering plant, it has root, stem, branches, leaf, etc. So, we are going to study about all these parts in detail in this lesson. So first of all, we will start from the base, that is the roots of plants. Okay? So first of all, before we start with the root system of a plant, let me tell you that root system of a plant is a part of plant which is not visible by our naked eye. That means the part which is under the soil, the part which is underground, such part is known as the root system of a plant. The characteristic of root system are: the first characteristic is it grows downward into the soil away from the sunlight and towards the force of gravity. Second characteristic is it has one main thick primary root which has many sub-branches. The end of each sub-branch has fine hair-like projections which are known as root hairs. The primary root with all its branches and the root hair is known as root system. As I have told you that roots are the parts which are present in the underground of the soil. So there are 2 main types of root system in a plant. First one is the taproot system and second one is the fibrous root system. So first of all we are going to study about the taproot and then we will proceed further with the fibrous root. A taproot system has a main thick branch which is called as primary root, and from that primary root many small hair-like structures are coming out, and they are known as secondary root. So together, this primary root and secondary roots makes taproot system. This type of root system is mainly found in dicot plants like gram, pea, etc. Dicot plants are the plants whose fruits have two cotyledons or two parts of their seeds. The next topic is fibrous root system. The fibrous root system has one main cluster of small roots or branches coming out or arising from the stem. Usually, this root system is found in monocot plants like maize and grass. Monocot plants are the plants whose seeds have one cotyledon. The next topic which we are going to study is functions of root system. Root helps to fix the plant into the soil. It absorbs water and minerals from the soil for the growth of plant. It also binds the soil together so that it does not get washed away during the rain or blow away by the wind. Now we are going to study the second part, that is the shoot system of a plant. Before we start with this topic, I want to tell you what is shoot system. Shoot system is the part of a plant which emerges above the soil. That means the part of a plant which is visible by our naked eye. For example, stem, branches, leaf, trunk, bark, flowers, fruits of tree. So, a shoot system of a plant mainly consists of stem, buds, fruits, flowers and trunk. So, the first part of shoot system is stem. Stem is the main and the aerial part of a plant. Why it is known as aerial part of a plant? Because it is a connection between roots from the ground to the leaves and branches and trunk in the air. So, stem is considered as the main aerial part of a plant. The part of stem from where new leaves or new branches originate is known as nodes. N-O-D-E-S, nodes. And the part of stem from where new nodes arrives, that part is known as internodes. So, let us have a look on the picture of stem of a plant. The top of the shoot has buds. These buds are called as apical buds. Apical buds are responsible for vertical growth of a plant. The angle which is formed between the upper part of a leaf and between the stem is called as axil, and the buds which are found here are known as axillary buds. Now let us study about some of the functions of stem. Stem bears all the aerial parts of plant such as buds, leaves, flowers and fruits. Stem helps in upward movement of water and minerals which are absorbed by root and transport them up to the leaves, fruits and flowers. Food prepared by leaves is conducted downward to the roots and to other non-green parts of the plant by stem. Stem also manufactures food when plant goes green and young. Here we have completed the first part of shoot system, that is stem. Now we are going to proceed further with the second part, that is nothing but the leaf. This is the most important part by this lesson point of view. The green flattened part of stem which arises from the nodes of the stem are known as leaves. However, leaves do not grow continuously. Once they attain their full size, their growth stops. Leaves are responsible for the process of transpiration, photosynthesis, etc. So, let us study about structure of a leaf. The structure of a leaf mainly consists of three parts. First one is the petiole, second one is the midrib, and third one is the lamina. So let us study with the help of a picture in order to understand it properly. So a typical leaf has parts like petiole, lamina, midrib, vein, leaf margin, etc. Petiole is the basal part of a leaf which is also connected to the stalk. It is attached to the stem at the node. An auxiliary bud is present at the axil of the leaf. Sometimes leaves are directly attached to the stem without a petiole. Such leaves are known as sessile leaves. The green, flat and broad part of leaf is known as lamina or leaf blade. The outer edge of these lamina is known as leaf margin. Petiole further continues into the lamina as the midrib. It laterally gives out fine branches called as veins as shown in the picture. Petiole, midrib, vein conduct water and food. The next topic which we are going to study is types of leaves. There are two main types of leaves. First one is the simple leaf and second one is the compound leaf. In case of simple leaf, lamina is undivided. That means lamina is only one piece. And in case of compound leaf, lamina is further divided into small leaflets. So, let us have a look on the examples of simple and compound leaf. The next topic which we are going to study is classification of leaves. Leaves are classified according to their shape, size, margin, etc. So let us study about different types of classifications given in this lesson. On the basis of margin, leaves are classified as a complete or entire margin, toothed or serrated margin, wavy margin and spinous margin. The examples for all these are the leaf of peepal, China rose, Ashoka and mango and prickly poppy. On the basis of shape, leaves are classified as needle shaped, oval shaped, heart shaped, oblong, circular and tapering. The examples for all these types of shapes are pine, guava, peepal, banana, lotus and ashoka. The next topic which we are going to study is arrangements of leaves. The arrangements of leaves on a branch of a plant is known as phalotaxy. The arrangement of leaves can be alternate, opposite and whorled. These are the three types of arrangements of leaves given in this lesson. So let us have a look on the pictures and try to understand them on the basis of their pictures. The first arrangement is alternate. Only one leaf arises from each node in this type of arrangement and the next leaf arises from the next successive node. The second type of arrangement is opposite. In plants like jasmine and guava, two leaf arises on each node to the opposite side of each other. That is why this arrangement is known as opposite arrangement. Third one is the whorl arrangement. More than two leaves are attached at each node, arranging in a whorl. The next topic which we are going to study is venation of leaves. Before we start with this topic, let us understand what do you mean by venation. The arrangement of veins in a lamina of a leaf is known as venation. So according to the arrangement of veins in the lamina of a leaf, there are two types of venations. First one is the reticulate venation and second one is the parallel venation. So if I will tell you orally about both these types, it will create a confusion. It's better we will study this with the help of pictures. So let us have a look on pictures of reticulate and parallel venation. The first type of venation is reticulate venation. In this type of venation, veins and veinlets are irregularly distributed in the lamina, which forms a network. The examples for reticulate venation can be peepal leaf and mango leaf. The second type of venation is parallel venation. In this type of venation, veins run parallel to each other. For example, banana, grass, maize, etc.